Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Guns N' Roses Central. And it's Monday morning, which means it's time to talk about this week's Guns N' Roses news. So some of the big news that happened this weekend is that Guns N' Roses played Tel Aviv in Israel, and Guns N' Roses, as part of that visit, was supposed to also go to Jerusalem. They weren't going to play any concerts there, but Guns N' Roses actually canceled their trip to Jerusalem after a terrorist attack had happened. So The Guardian reports that there was reports of violence at a holy site in the city, and they said that 3 Israeli citizens of Palestinian origin were involved in the shootout with police near 7 a.m. at the entrance to the Temple Mount, and all 3 gunmen were killed in the attack, along with 2 Israeli police officers. So Guns N' Roses were actually going to be visiting Jerusalem and doing some sightseeing as part of their tour, but this has now been actually canceled. And then we've also got a news story from Israel about Guns N' Roses and their entourage and what they demanded as part of their hotel stay. So Guns N' Roses stayed at the Dan Tel Aviv Hotel, and Axl had the presidential suite. And he basically orders an exercise bike, a piano, a full sound and light proofing for the room. And they also had 40 suites to accommodate their 70-person entourage as well. So when Guns played Israel back in '93, they also went to Jerusalem to do some sightseeing. And this wasn't the only news coming out of Israel with Guns N' Roses concert there. So I don't know if you guys saw, but Guns N' Roses also got into a little bit of trouble with observant fans. So Guns N' Roses are actually going to be taking the stage at 8 p.m. in Israel instead of the scheduled 8:30 to allow for an extra 30 minutes of music before the 11:30 p.m. public noise curfew in Tel Aviv takes hold. However, the time change means that fans of the group who are Shabat observant will miss the first half hour of Axl's and Slash's performance. There was also reports that Airbnb rentals and hotel rooms within walking distance of the park are going like hotcakes, and some concert goers were contemplating consulting Jared Kushner's rabbi to issue an allowance to carry keys and tickets to the show as they walked the performance before the end of the Shabbat. Now, we also had some news from Guns N' Roses concert in the Netherlands. I didn't get a chance to actually do a recap of it, but Angus actually joined the Gunners on stage, performed a whole lot of Rosie and Riff Raff with the band. And then we've also got an article about Guns N' Roses. We've been seeing a lot of articles about how much money they've made on this tour. So it came out that they made more money in 2016 than any musician except Beyonce. So Billboard's list of highest paid musicians of 2016 have finally got released. And it's not surprising that Beyonce grossed $161 million on last year's Massive Formation World Tour. And her final earnings clocked in at $62.1 million. Now, Guns N' Roses cleared a more respectable $42.3 million in final earnings, which was, of course, fueled by the reunion tour. And then we've also got a photo of Slash with a child from the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which is a really sweet photo we saw earlier this week. And then this is also Guns N' Roses' trainer who posted this on his social media as well. So maybe he's got somebody close in his family who's dealing with cancer, like I think a lot of people do, unfortunately. So that basically does it for this week's news. If you guys want to listen to some of the Guns N' Roses radio on SiriusXM, there's a little snippet of it on YouTube, which I've linked to down below, so you guys can get a taste of what you're maybe missing out. That does it for this week's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you love Guns N' Roses, and got a big surprise coming your guys' way to celebrate the Appetite for Destruction 30th anniversary later this week. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a good one.